everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Star Ocean: The Divine Force, which I played on the PS4, but it also released on the PS5, Xbox, and PC, so everything but the Switch. And this was a game that I was pleasantly surprised by. I would honestly say it's my hidden gem of 2022. I enjoyed it so much and didn't really expect to. I mean, I did like the demo, but I acknowledge its problems with the frame rate and a bit of the lag. But after witnessing the story and meeting all the characters, I loved it. So one of the cool things about the game is when you start it up, you can decide as to whether or not you want to play Raymond's story or Leticia's story. And as of recording this, I've only played through Raymond's story. I plan to Let's Play Leticia's story, so I hope you guys stay tuned for that once I get to it, if we finish Kingdom Hearts. But, it is the same story, but you see it through a different lens. Like, Raymond is the Vergoldian off-worlder who, at the start of the game in the opening cutscene, gets shot out of space by the Federation and crash lands onto Aster 4. And his main goal is obviously getting off the planet, but also finding his crewmates, Elena and Chloe. And let me tell you about Elena. Chloe doesn't join the party, but Elena does. She's this sexy blonde-haired android who joins the party as one of the best party members to have. So he sets out looking for his friends, and then immediately runs into Leticia and Albert. Now, Leticia is the princess of the royal kingdom Osarius, and then Albert is her royal retainer, her knight. And they agree to help each other. And what happens is, while Raymond's looking for his friends, he learns about the conflict between the kingdom versus the Vale Empire. So naturally, by their names, obviously the kingdom is good and the empire is bad. And in learning such things, he agrees to help the princess and his newfound friends. And I just love the interactions between all the party members. As you meet them and you go to new towns and villages, what happens is your party disbands. This is one of the coolest features I've ever seen, which I think did happen in the other Star Ocean games, if I'm not mistaken. But your party disbands, and you have these things called private actions, where you go around talking to all your party members, and I would assume you get specific cutscenes when you play as Leticia in the second playthrough. But some of the funniest cutscenes, very reminiscent of the skits in the Tales of games. And you have a choice as they play out. You have like 3 different choices, and depending on your answers, you get affection points or your affection points go down, and that affects the ending of the game. Later on, when you beat the game, you get specific endings. I think there's 16 different endings in total with all the different characters playing through it as Raymond and Leticia, and I thought that was so cool. And honestly, the best parts of the game, seeing the characters all interact. But, you meet other characters. You meet this young girl named Nina, who is a iatromancer, which is the healer. And she's really cool mechanically how she works in battle, where she can't use any offense whatsoever. It's just about healing and casting buffs on the party members. So, really unique how they have all the different characters. Raymond, of course, is your physical attacker, uses not a dual blade, but a two-handed sword, right? So he's slower but more powerful. You have Leticia, who dual wields, uses 2 separate swords, much faster but a little weaker than Raymond. Albert, same thing. He's a similar playstyle to Leticia, honestly. He wields chakram. Nina wields a bell, and like I said, all she does is heal. You meet this dude later on named Midas, who is a semiomancer, basically the mage of that area. And another thing with the character interactions, like Midas wears this hat right here, and every time you see him in a cutscene, he's always like adjusting his hat. And just the way he talks, like just the interactions, you have Raymond who's talking almost like a zoomer, like, yo, for real? Like, what's going on? And then all the other royal people talking all prim and proper. And anytime Raymond is fucking with Midas, he's like, nonsense, cease this. And he has this animation where he like moves out his arm. And there's another one with Raymond. Like, anytime Raymond meets a new villain, he goes with his hand, he like points, he's like, who the heck are you? Who the hell are you? And I swear to God, he does the same animation. Like, they reuse certain animations, but it's in an endearing way. Like, that's one of the nitpicks, is the fact that the lips don't sync, which doesn't really bother me. But the voice acting is really top tier. Really great voice actors. I'll rattle off the list in a minute here. Let me go through some more of the characters. So, then you meet this dude, Thea, which he's exclusive to when you play Leticia. He joins as like a party member that you can't control at certain instances. And I think he's Leticia's brother or cousin, something like that. He's in line with the royal family somehow. So he's pretty cool. Then later on, you meet this all the ladies are sexy as hell, too. You meet Malkia, who is a Trathan. She's, I guess, like, not an alien race, but more similar to elves. She has, like, pointy ears, and she lives on the island of Nilbeth, where they have this thing called the Ancient Coil, which is what the Emperor wants later on in the story. Then you meet this other chick, Marielle L. Kenny, who is a descendant of one of the prior protagonists in the Star Ocean games, and she's working with the Federation. She comes down and ends up helping Raymond because there's a conspiracy with the other Federation officers who want to use, the weapons for bad. And that's the other thing, too. With the combat, you have this thing called Duma, which you can fly around doing all sorts of crazy shit. And it's this robot, which later on reveals that it's a Scorpium. And one of the plots is the Emperor wants to get his hands on the Scorpium and become one with Machine, become what's known as the Sovereign, and take over the world and then the galaxy. So, yeah, there's other antagonists called the Virians, who are these horned aliens. Some more of the Federation guys. The one guy's name is like Remington Kurtzman, Curtis Aldridge. They have some badass names and great voice acting. I should get to the voice acting now. So we have, as Raymond, Mark Whitten. Leticia is Danielle Judovitz. Elena, Erica Lindbeck, who is one of my favorite voice actresses, did a great job as Elena. Max Middleman as Albert. Susie Young as Nina. Keith Silverstein as Midas. Laura Post as Malkia. Erica Mendez as Mario. Erica Mendez voiced Eleanor in the Tales of Berseria. I just played that game. That's why it's off the top of my head. Ray Chase as Theo. Jameson Price as JJ. JJ's this robot dude you meet later on who's fused with a scorpion. Duma is voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell. Chloe is voiced by Christina V. Antonio Lawrence, that's Raymond's brother, who you meet later on, voiced by Jay Preston. Welsh Vineyard, voiced by Melissa Fawn, who voices Ed in Cowboy Bebop. And Welch is a returning character from all the Star Ocean games. She's involved with item creation, which is a shitty mechanic in this game because of the RNG nature. But I am working on the Platinum Trophy and do plan to get it at some point. But she's hilarious. She like has Raymond do all these side quests. And just her interactions when she calls him on the phone, fucking hilarious. I enjoyed that. Sean Chiplock as Gaston. Faye Mata as Lola. Benjamin Diskin as Valange. Matthew Mercer as the King of Osiris. Todd Habercorn as Emperor Boldor. That's Natsu himself voicing the villain of this game. So yeah, a lot of voice actors, a lot of great talents. Richard Epcar voices somebody. Lombert. So yeah, there's quite a few more, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I did mention them. But yeah, I loved how each character had different play styles. I mainly use Raymond, but I did switch it up, use Elena a few times, use JJ. Always had Nina in the party just to heal, because that's a valuable asset to have. I did beat it on Universe difficulty, which the next highest level is Chaos. That's like the super hard mode, so I beat it on hard mode. Relatively easy for the most part, aside for some boss fights. The one boss, that giant bird, that was a bitch. I had a lot of trouble with that one. And then I mentioned him, Remington Kurtzman, who's one of the Federation dudes. He has this fucking shield, which you have to take out the shield first, and that stuns him. And then you got to take him out, and then his shield regenerates. So you got to take out the shield again, and it just took a long time. And then the final boss was quite difficult. And then the fucking optional boss of the optional dungeon was really difficult. I changed it to easy for that. But I beat the game on Universe difficulty. So let me pause right now and show you some of the gameplay, and I'll show you some of the trophies that I got. I didn't get the Platinum yet because I need to beat it on Leticia's route and finish item creation, but I will get the Platinum and do another video once I do, so stay tuned for that. Okay, one thing that you're probably noticing on the screen is, yes, I downloaded all the Star Ocean games that I am able to on the PS4 PlayStation Store, which there was a sale. They were all like $8 each. So I got, this is Star Ocean 5, Integrity and Faithlessness. This is The Last Hope. I think that's the fourth one. Till the End of Time is the third one. And then this one, The First Departure R, is the first one. For some reason, they haven't released the second one, which is most people's favorite. But, yeah, I downloaded all of them. They're all $8 each. I don't know when the hell I'll play them, but I do have them. And I'll go through some of the trophies, right? So, these, all the way down to that one is all story-based. You'll get, that's beating the game right here. So you'll get all of them just by playing through the story. These are the character endings. So I mentioned before with the private actions, depending on how much time you spend with a character and how you correctly answer questions, you will get an ending with the character you have the highest affection with. You know, Albert, Nina, Midas, Elena, Marielle, Amalkia, JJ, and then Letitia's all at the bottom. They're all great. I went through them all because I saved right before the final boss, and you get these items later on, which can impact the affection points. So you give, like, the negative ones, you know, to whichever ending you got last time, and then do the positive ones, and you can get whichever ending you want. All the ones with the ladies are very ship-like, except for Nina, because she's a little girl. But I thought the Leticia one and the Elena and Marielle one were fantastic. I love those endings. The male character ones are kind of jokey, but I enjoyed them. All good. I enjoyed getting all these endings. These hidden trophies are all Leticia's endings. This is getting side quests, 55 or more. The problem with the side quests is you'll see them on the minimap, like where to start them, but the only way you can check the side quests is in the map menu. You press the triangle button. It's very convoluted. So I think there's like 90 quests. You just have to do 55 of them. 90% of the bestiary, just if you do the optional boss and optional dungeon, you'll get that. No problem. Surprise attacks, if you play the game, you'll get it. Same thing, these are just battle trophies. Walk a certain distance. Which, who was I using? Yeah, I always had Elena out there just to look at her, how sexy she was. Fly. Get all the weapons. I'm working on that with the item creation. This was a bitch, man. I had to refer to a guide. With Duba, you can see the items on the map. But with this, I was missing a few just because. And, you know, you find them all. Open every chest. Get all the bunnies. Same thing with Duma. You find these little bunnies in each area, and you collect them, and you get rewards with them. You know, just all the JRPGs have the collectibles, right? Item creation. What a pain in the ass that is. All RNG. One Asoa. This was great, man. This is like a checkers chess type minigame. A lot of fun. I enjoyed playing that quite a bit. And I got Battle God. That's beating all the Asoa people and beating the Ethereal Queen. Watch every ending. We'll get that eventually. These are the two optional bosses, Ethereal Queen and Gabriel Celeste. I beat both of them. I beat the game normally on Universe, and then if you do the boss again, you can get the Chaos difficulty. So you can play the whole game on easy and just beat the final boss on the high difficulty to get the achievement. 90% of all items. I'm working on it. Leticia's ending with Raymond, and then the hidden trophy. That's Raymond and Leticia. Or Leticia and Raymond, whatever. So let's boot it up. One of the other problems, as much as I do like the game, the font. I can hardly read the fucking font, man. It is unbearable. Like, can you read that? Can you see the stat numbers? Like, fuck. Oh, so, and when you max out characters trying to do the optional boss, you can get a max level of 255. And look at the stats. My HP, you know, 60-something thousand. Attack, 13,000. Crazy, man. So here's what all the characters look like. Raymond. Goddamn, Elena. Albert. Nina. Midas. Which this dude is jacked too. He's got like the biggest muscles of the whole group, even bigger than Raymond with his hat on. JJ, Leticia, who's pretty cute. Marielle, who's also between hot and cute, and then Malkia, who's hot. Like, look at all these sexy ladies, man. So there's that. I guess I'll show you a little bit of combat. So you can like fly around this thing Duma and get all sorts of cool treasure chests.
Something tells me we probably
this is where I've been grinding for money. And you just go here and you fight these monsters over and over again. I have Albert in the party because he can get extra money. And you just attack these things and spam R1 is all I do. And then when you get this, fucking wail on him. We can switch to Elena. See, look at her go. Really fast-paced combat. These are like tougher enemies in the game, so, you know, they're kind of giving me trouble right here despite being max level, and I'm fucked into a corner, so try Albert. Get him! Surprise! And you go to town there. So I'm not going to do the whole... Oh, let me do this too. Let me show you Elena at least. Ready? This is her special attack. Each character has their own special attack. R2. And we get to see some boobies. So she did her attack there. So anyway, let's pause that. I'll show you some of the screenshots too. Which this is kind of the spoiler warning now because I'm going to show you screenshots. Which I've taken the... This is Ethereal Queen. Again, dude. People talk about the ethics department of Square Enix. Holy shit! So, I don't know. I'll start from the beginning and just show you some of the coolest shit. I took a lot of screenshots just because there's a lot of funny dialogue lines that I wanted. I've been posting on the community page. That whole thing. Here's Welsh. She's funny. Midas, yeah, he just made like these faces all the time and like put his arm out, fixing his hat, like cranky old man that he is. Elena, yeah, you find Elena's broken and you gotta repair her, and Midas helps repair her, right? There's Nina. Anytime Nina talks, she's always waving her arms around crazily. Oh, there was a moment in the game where there was the virus going around, and they had this propaganda where they're all wearing masks. They had the illness. What was that about? Here's Theo. Yeah, you can see most of my screenshots are Elena because I do love my bonds. Here's this other one of the villains, Neon. The game, I mean, for its faults, it looks great. It really does. I know people don't like the look of the characters because it has the anime look, but it also has realistic looking characters, and some of them are doll-like. But that looks fantastic, man. I had to take that. Here's Midas being more of his cranky stuff. Here's like more shipping moments. It is a nice view. Really beautiful view. Here's Malkia, which... There's a ship going on between the two of them, too! And look at their reaction. I think I did post this on the community page. Yeah, she referred to Albert as the boy, that boy. I thought that was funny. Here's Bertrand, one of the generals, who's a badass. Which, yeah, he looks realistic, and then you have, like, the anime look, right? He's got his eye patch on. Oh yeah, I did my video on that. So there was like the wedding where Leticia was gonna marry Gerard, Baldur's son, so the two kingdoms could see peace. And this reminded me so much of Final Fantasy X. I did that video a few weeks ago. That's her father, the king, voiced by Matthew Mercer, complete badass. Neon, who turns evil again. Marielle. That's Boldur. He's the big bad. Lola, one of the... There's Lola, Valange, and Gaston. Lola becomes a friend later on. Here's Curtis Aldridge, who's one of the good Federation guys. There's like a mutiny with the Federation where there's some guys that are good, some guys that are evil. Curtis ends up helping us. Here's JJ, one of the Scorpion dudes we meet. Joins the party. Yeah, here's the screenshot of Midas fixing his hat. And yeah. Hilarious. This is Antonio. Oh yeah, this was hilarious. Some of this dialogue. Let me say. Fighting with Albert. Here's one of the bad guys. Bennett. And just some more. This is Remington Kurtzman, who fused with the Scorpio. And there's a lot of like parallels to Elon Musk and Neuralink, like fusing with machines. That was the overall plot of this game. And this is Raymond. Anytime there's a bad guy, he did this animation where he stuck out his, like, who the hell are you? There's another one right here. Oh, we're definitely going to stop the invasion of Burgold. Oh, here's here's Raymond's father, Raoul. Which, do I have a cutscene of when they first met? Yeah, right here. He's like, who the hell are you? It's me, Dad. And they both have mullets. That's where he got the look from. Oh, the cutscenes in this game were so good, man. These two bad guys. You know. I couldn't help myself. This is when the whole party's together making their final trek to the stars. Gaston, who fused with the Scorpium and right before he died. And then I think we see Valange again, too. And there he's doing that pose again. Like, nice look. What exactly is the deal with all this? He does that pose constantly. I thought this was a good one. The whole party getting ready to fight. Right? Oh, these are the endings. Yeah. So they all say goodbye. Some cute moments. Here's one of the endings with Malkia, like feeding them grapes. This is him and JJ. They were just fighting some of the bad guys. That was a cool moment. Him and Midas doing some research. He's dueling Albert. That's the Albert ending. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't want to fight you now, Albie. Nina, where he's helping her for studies. And he gives her a head pat to praise her. Oh my god, I died. This was so good, man. At the end there, Marielle got a promotion. And you get this, and it pans down to their feet, right? You have this pose, it pans to her feet, and she's on her tippy toes, implying that she's giving him a kiss. I loved it so much, man. And then the one with Elena, too. Where's the quote? To show you that I am and always will be your partner. No one else. I don't care. I'll take the android waifu. I want one. And then this moment with Leticia. Right? Embracing with the sunset. So very sweet endings. Some more of the boss stuff. So yeah. I've gone on about this probably long enough. So I'll cut back to myself with closing thoughts. So yeah, guys, I was very impressed with this game. I absolutely loved it. Again, for the nitpicks, it had, with Duma, which I showed you a bit of the gameplay there, flying around, there were multiple times, really dozens of times, where I got stuck with Duma. And it's like, holy shit. And I had to use fast travel to warp out of it, because I was literally stuck. I couldn't move. So there are problems as far as it being glitchy. And I wonder, because Tri-Ace had the whole thing about them going bankrupt, I wonder if, you know, they just ran out of money here, and that's why certain things are the way they are with the frame rate and glitchiness. But overall, as far as enjoyment with the story and all the characters, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The combat was fun. Not really a fan of item creation, but I will eventually get the platinum by completing it. And I do plan to Let's Play Leticia's Route, so I hope to see you guys there for that after I finish Kingdom Hearts. So thank you so much for watching. Highly recommend. It's $40 now, so go check it out. I'm sure if you wait a little longer, you can, you know, you can wait for even more of a sale. But I got it for 60 bucks, and I don't regret it whatsoever. And do look forward to playing the other Star Ocean games, which you saw I downloaded. So, thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Peace out.